Alright, welcome to episode 74 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today I'm taking another look at an episode of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I animated on back in 2013, I believe. I think it was released in 2014. See some shots with Plan 10.
So, Krang, can you, tell me how to get to the nearest, Krang exit?
It's the Krang communication orb. It hasn't been active for months.
Wait a minute. How do we know he's the real Raph? What's the secret ninja password?
A little help, Casey?
Alright, now this episode is called Plan 10 because it's riffing on the old movie Plan 9 from Outer Space. I haven't seen that movie, so I'm not sure of how many similarities are here, but this is the next plan, Plan 10. So we can see Raph here has been mind swapped into the body of a Krang droid, the Norman version. And so here Raph is trying to gain control of the Krang robot. So he's moving on. Okay, well, let's see if I move this way. Oh, it's going to move that way. And if I move the arm here, oh, it's going to move there. So trying to keep that awkwardness as much as possible and show his thought process. So we can see how he's going along. Like, if I try this, it does this. If I try this, it does this. So here, Raph is trying to gain control, specifically, oh, the right arm. I could do the right arm. And then he leans forward a little bit. It's going to lean forward a lot. He's going to try and twist his body over, trying something else now to see if that'll work. And then he responds as the footsteps coming down the hall. Here, we've got the storyboard, the animatic, the primary, the secondary, and the final. And you can see the different phases there, playing at half speed. You can go back and rewatch that to watch each one. Now, Raph here is trying to hide, so he's just going to go stare at the wall, because he's like, he can't do anything better than that. But he still got caught by one of the other Norman Krang droids, so he's going to turn to address him, and the way he turns, he has to take step, 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 kind of really slow baby steps. Now, he's trying to look casual here, puts his hands on his hips, hey, how you doing? But this hand won't go down. So he decides to try something else. I'll bring the hand up here. Oh, that doesn't look good either. So this is all taken from the boards. These boards, I believe, are all drawn by Ciro Nielli, and just wonderful ideas in there. So a lot of times there wasn't any need to stray too far from the boards. So here we've got a stagger to stop. A lot of times a stagger is directional, but in this case it's just a boom, 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 boom. So you can see it going from increasing to decreasing motions here as I replay it through slower. And that's just the idea, trying to make it look somewhat mechanical, like it's going to arrive somewhere, but it's still got some weight, so it has to go for 6, 8, 10, 12 frames before it stops. Again, Raph is trying to look casual with that screen left arm, can't get it on his hips, so he's just going to bring it up, and now it's going to do a stagger as well. Boing, 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 boing. It's going to arrive in its place. Eventually, Raph does gain control of the Norman body, but this isn't there yet. So here he's saying, okay, well, I'm going to bring that arm down. So let's force it down. Let's see, what am I going to do here? First, he's going to anticipate up, and then he's going to bring that elbow up, and now he's going to bring the clavicle down, clavicle first, then the elbow, and then the hand. I should put it higher on my arm there. So it's all a matter of, generally we want to start from the hips as we're moving and then radiate outwards. So if I'm moving first I'm moving the torso, anticipating up, then I'm going to move the clavicle, then I'm going to move the elbow, then I'll move the arm down. And now he's trying to mirror the Krang. He's like, hey, look, everything's fine, yeah? Trying to move as little as possible. Those were fun scenes to animate. I liked that whole idea of Raph being trapped in this other body. So this scene here, I've got a few different breakdowns of this. Donnie's going to be running in here. He sees that the Krang orb is lit up, so he's going to run in and through the scene. So he's going to start really big and then, get smaller as we go through. And that's all from the board. So lower focal length allows that. Now this is the top view. I remember sending this home to myself to study it and try and figure out what's the best way to deal with it. So that's how everything works in 3D space. So that's all cool. Now this is how it looked when we tried it in 80 focal length. This focal length just flattens everything out way too much. You can see there's no big to small receding in the distance there. So we go to 26 focal length, And that's what allows Donnie and Mikey to start big and then get smaller in the distance. Here's the notes I did to myself on that last shot. Again, you can go back and pause that if you want to see the notes to myself. It's like, oh, okay, at this frame, do this. At this frame, this needs to be a little bit faster. This frame isn't quite working. I need to change the spacing there. And this is the type of notes that as animators we need to make for ourselves when we're self-evaluating the scenes and looking at it objectively and saying, yeah, this is working, this isn't working, this isn't working. Generally, it's a list of things that aren't working and what the solutions are. It's not just an observation of, oh, this is too slow, this is too fast. It's make this 30% faster. On this frame, do this. Like, it has to be specific directions in order to get to actionable solutions. So here we had Casey and April coming in, and this is all leading the eye. As one thing happens, it starts to slow down, another thing happens. As that slows down, another thing happens. Here they're all gathered around the computer. So everything is pretty slow, and this is where Mikey is going to say, hey, is that the real Raph? Everybody's looking over at Mikey now. He's going to slam his hand down. And then, as you can see the storyboard here, terrific drawing, terrific posing. Look how much Donnie's being crowded there. Mikey comes right into the camera. Hey, how do we know you're the real Raph? And the low focal length again. If we had a really high focal length, like you saw that other shot with the 80, he wouldn't get that much bigger as he comes into camera, unless he got really close. So yeah, I love that O shape whenever we're doing the lip sync on the Turtles. They had such an appealing O shape. This is Raph. How do we know it's the real Raph? Got to really hit that F. Lots of eyes, shape change there. Whenever we open and close the eyes, we get that big color pop to the white and to the blue there, compared with the orange. Overlapping the mouth corners with the jaw is really important here because we're so close to the camera. And Donnie's acting in the background, and Mikey's a goofball, of course. And Raph's just trying to communicate with them and say, hey, you guys, I'm trapped in a crane body. Okay, so April here is showing off her new fan as her weapon, and Splinter's training her. Here's a few different stages. It's the animatic stage. Here's the primary stage, where it's broken down on stepped. Here's secondary stage with just April. And the final. And the whole idea here is that, she's being trained as a ninja, and ninjas move as efficiently as possible, as little as possible. So they're not going to do a big, oh, I'm going to get you. It's more of a, oh, I'm going to just get into that position and do something to twist and flick you away and use your weight against you. It's a tricky thing to do because it's much easier to show an audience when you do, hey, I'm going to do this, like professional wrestling kind of level. But, if you're going to go MMA kind of level, then you don't want to show what's going to happen. You want to keep it hidden as long as possible so then you can pull it out and do it without, much anticipation or much of a tell to give the opponent heads up. So here April is getting ready to fend the laser coming in. Zap comes in on one frame. Boom, it's pushed back immediately. Her entire body's being pushed back. The effects is negated there. Bzzz, does a short out in the air. April's going to go back and follow through, and then she's going to settle down to that board pose that we've got in the top right there. Just nothing too remarkable about this shot, just Krang brains are always fun. I really liked, you had these big brainy eyebrows, you could keep these leg shapes appealing, and just tentacly looking like octopus arms. Contrast with those eyes. Whenever you close the eyes and open the eyes, you get that big color pop. And here it was no different, especially with the extreme close-up. You could see the asymmetry on the brows there. The design, it was pretty much always the design. So there wasn't too much you could do with the face animation-wise, but it was about selling it with the, with the creepiness. So that was a quick breakdown of an episode I did on Ninja Turtles. Again, had a lot of fun on that show. Great people, and more to come in the future. Thanks for checking it out. I'll see you next time.